Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 70908, the Scuttler, in 775 pieces and retails for $79.99. However, recently at Walmart, this set was being clearanced for $30. And just look at the back of the box. So that's how much I paid for it, which I think is a pretty good price, but I'm still going to be reviewing this with the thought in mind that this does cost $80, just so you know. And it does come with one instruction booklet that is perfect bound, so that's nice. But aside from the Scuttler, the only second build that's not, contained within the Scuttler or for the good guys is this little kind of stand for Poison Ivy. It's just a bunch of vines all attached around one of these octagonal plates, kind of, with the bar all around the edges. And you can move these all around, all the little sections. And I think that it looks pretty good, and it works especially with the two vines that she has in her hands. And, you kind of got the vines all the way around. I think that it looks good, and it works pretty well for the character. And there is a clear stand that is included with the set. If you wanted to, you could remove it, and it still actually stands pretty well, but I really appreciate the inclusion of those clear elements. Within the Scuttler itself, though, is a secondary detachable vehicle, being a little jetpack for Batman, and I'm going to move the Scuttler out of the way so that you can see it, but the jetpack, in order to prevent you from having to remove Batman's cape, he just stands on the plate of a bracket piece, and it does have the two rocket boosters, and you can move those out, and you can move them in, you can turn them, which I think, works pretty well for play. You can kind of make him go upwards, you can kind of make him turn to the side. It's decent, but I think that the main purpose of these is to allow you to maneuver them in ways so that you can fit them in the back of the Scuttler. I think that overall it looks good, and I think that the best part about it is the fact that it does fit into the back of the vehicle. And you can close it all up, and it works pretty well. However, if you prefer to keep it out, you can fit, probably 2 figures inside of here, maybe 3 if you really squeeze them. But, if we just take these guys, you can then close it, and they fit in there perfectly fine. So, that's almost a better use of space, I think. However, it does make sense to store this back there, because you can always leave it out if you want. It's just an extra little added play feature with probably just a leftover parts budget. The actual design of the vehicle is very unique. It's something that I don't think I've ever seen anything like before. It's basically designed to look like a bat walking, and using its wings as arms. And I think that that's really cool. I would not have really expected something like this, but I'm glad we got one, because I think that it was executed pretty well, just the overall, design. We'll start with the back here, because we've already looked inside. This windscreen piece is where the jetpack would be, but that is not what the caution sign is warning about. It's warning about that engine in there, which, looks pretty cool. It's got some R2 legs just to give it some extra detail, and these sides can be hinged a little, but I think that it looks best the way it is. It does have this one little exhaust in the back, and you close this up, and you see it does have some nice sticker details going all the way up. Caution, hot contents. It does have 2 back hind legs. The little gap between my desk and the wall is going to bug me a lot during this review, I think. But the back, they're all with these heavy joints, heavy ratcheted joints, all 4 legs, and the design of them looks pretty good, mostly black. You got the toes, which are just cheese slopes, and it actually just balances on the tips of those cheese slopes. You can put the legs like that if you want some more ground stability, and you can rotate them around too if you want. But I think that the way that they kind of want it to make sense is if you have them, on the tips, because up in the front it's also balancing on the tips of its legs, and it does have these flick fire missiles in the back, which I think just kind of look like claws, and they look pretty good. These long legs here are pretty cool. They do have a sticker and an ingot piece up on the top, just to give a little bit of detail. These Technic bricks are part of a function here, which we'll take a look at in just a second. But there is a sticker on the side that says the Scuttler, and then some red sticker details, as well as a little bit underneath each of these stud shooters, which is kind of subtle. But the stud shooters, just shoot like normal, as one would expect. And there are 2 on each leg, as well as 2 on the cockpit, which we'll look at momentarily. And the fronts of these legs are done with ball joints, so you can hold it like that, and they actually keep their friction kind of stay like that. But you can also, if you want it to be a little bit more stable, just put the full pad on the ground. But the play feature here, I also want to point out the phone piece used to make some lights. But the main play feature here is that you can push this down and to extend the legs, and then it doesn't look as good, but I think that it's nice to have that option. It does get a little wonky when you start to mess around with the positions of the front legs, but they have a good range of motion. Most of it's not going to be usable motion. I guess, let's see, can we get it to stand like this? I guess you can. So you can go basically from poses like that to, oops, that was not intentional. The tube here is falling off. And you can also go all the way down like this to where the entire vehicle is really like all the way down to the ground. So you do have a good range of motion there. And both legs can be articulated exactly the same, as expected, really. There is this one cannon up on the top, which does just shoot a net, and you'd have to fold that up, and, it is what it is. But it can be rotated all the way around and hinged inwards this way. It is asymmetrical, but, I think that it works. And up here there is just another sticker that says exhaust. And that's pretty much all there is for the detail on the top there in the section. There are some lights attached on the side there, and then we get to my favorite part, I think, which is the cockpit. And actually I need to move this up a little just so that, it wants to stay. There we go. Alright, so the cockpit can be rotated and go up and down. That's the motion there. There is no side to side, which is kind of a shame because this is a very organic feeling vehicle. So the ears can even be moved to give it kind of different emotions. Like, kind of looks sad like that, or, it looks really alert. And the sides, look good. I would have liked to see that gap filled in a little more, but there's not much better you can do with parts currently available. And I do like the Batman logo sticker there. And inside of the cockpit, there are stickers on either side for control panels. And to sit Batman in there, we are going to take him. We don't even need to take his cape off. His batarangs might get in the way a little bit, but you just sit him right in, and then if you didn't have the batarangs in his hand, you would be able to lean the this screen in front of him backwards, but you can just close it up and leave it like that, and it still does work. So, it's a pretty good look for the cockpit, and I think that it works well. If you wanted to, you could try and squeeze another character like right on top of him, but this cockpit doesn't really give enough space for you to reenact the why did you build this thing with only one seat scene. So I think that was in the Batwing, but might have been the Scuttler. But the cockpits feel kind of similar, and it does work in a similar way. But overall, oh yeah, I guess I should probably also mention that we have stretch shooters on either side, so there's two of them there. Anyway, that is pretty much all there is to the vehicle design. It's a pretty cool vehicle. It's a cool thing, looks cool on display, and I like the fact that there are so many different poses that you can get with this thing. Leaves a lot of dynamic range of display poses, but you know, a lot of cool things that you can do with just this vehicle. But let's look at the figures. So here we go, Batman and the Joker, the two main characters in the movie. Just kidding, I mean, you can make arguments for a couple more, but these are two of, you know, the most important ones. And they're also two of the most common ones from the Lego Batman movie. Batman appears in pretty much every set. You know, I guess there are different facial expressions, but there's nothing really special about this one. And Joker appears in a couple sets, and I guess they both appear in polybags. But I still think that the torso and legs for the Joker are nicely printed, as well as Batman. I'm not going to bother taking off the Bat belt, because, you know, he is a common figure, so you've probably seen him before anyway, but under there, it's pretty much nothing. It's just a continuation of the abs that he's got, but it is a nice Bat belt piece. It does have two batarangs, and the standard Batman mask. Joker has, you know, his most common face, but underneath, you can see the full expression, and on the back, that's what it looks like with the mask on, mask off. Joker's secondary face is really nice. I like that big smile. And we put their masks back on. You can see the Joker has no back printing. Batman does have some very minimal printing. Accessories, Batman just has standard batarangs. Joker, though, does have something a little bit special with a bang gun, and it's just a flag that has stickers on both sides. But these two are not special at all, besides the stickered flag to this set. So not super exciting and not a draw for the set, but it is nice to get, you know, the main good guy and the main bad guy in one set. So there are a couple others sets where you can do that. And I guess I did forget to mention Joker's coattail piece. I guess I kind of, you know, took it for granted because it comes in most sets that he comes in, but it is really nice and, you know, works well. So Batgirl and Robin both come in this set as well, but they're not in their standard costumes that, you know, they have in the Lego movie. They're in their regular clothes. Robin, aka Dick Grayson, has a new torso. I believe his face is the same as found in other sets, but the glasses have the tan behind the eyes instead of the green. That did also appear in the CMF, but, you know, this is the only other place. And he does have a brand new molded bow tie, which is pretty cool. And the back of his face is a little bit more concerned and confused and puzzled. But I do like that hairpiece, and it covers it all the way. And on the torso, you can see there are some nice little silver dots. They are metallic, so they're shiny. And it also continues onto the arms, as well as the front of that torso. So, very cool. Let's see if we can get an angle where you can kind of see them. There we go. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. Barbara Gordon has her, you know, standard hair. It was also used in the CMF series and Arkham Asylum, where yet another version of Barbara exists. This hair is slightly different. I don't know if both of them do. I think the one in the Arkham Asylum set may have the same hairpiece, but the one in the CMFs has a silver band around there, so slightly different again. And there's the front of her torso and the front of her GCPD vest, which I believe is exclusive to this set, though it might be in that Two-Face set from Wave 2, but it was exclusive during the first wave. And she has no torso printing, but she does have dual molded arms underneath this vest, so I'm not going to remove it. And neither of these two figures have leg printing. She does have an alternate face, though, like Robin. And, actually, never mind. She has leg printing. I'm they're not. It's not exclusive. I believe it was also used for Hawkeye. Someone from a superhero set had these legs. Yeah, it's still cool. I think that it works. Neither of these guys get any accessories, though. So to round out the list, we have Commissioner Gordon, or the old Commissioner, Jim Gordon, Batgirl's father, and Poison Ivy, who appears in... each of these both appear in one other set, but it's a different variant. Poison Ivy in her prison Arkham outfit, and he appears in the CMF series in just, his regular kind of police clothes, not wearing the ceremonial outfit. Looking at him first, because he's a little bit simpler. His torso print looks nice. He does have arm printing with the badge on both sides. And his back print, is pretty good. He does have a new hair mold for the Lego Batman movie with a little bit of print on both sides, which looks good. And his face, I believe, is the same or similar to his collectible minifigures variant, with the smile on one side and then the more serious expression on the other side. Poison Ivy has this really, really nice hairpiece with the leaves printed all over. This piece does appear in the other set, but the rest of her torso and leg print does not. She has a nice face on both sides, and I like the printing on the torso. We're going to remove the vines from her hands, just so that we can see a little better. And there is print on this arm, none on the other arm, but it is still dual molded. And underneath this skirt piece, you can see she does have print on both of her legs. Nothing on the hips, and they're not dual molded. But that's pretty much all the print there is. I'm not going to bother removing the skirt any further. But you can see definitely a very detailed design on both of these figures, I'd say. But they are both exclusive, so they're both nice to get in this set. Overall, I think the Scuttler is a good set. However, it does feel a little bit on the pricey side to me. Yes, you get 6 figures, and 4 of them are exclusive. I would have liked to see maybe just one more, maybe a civilian or something, or another bad guy, because this set does feel very good guy oriented. The good guys have pretty much all of the power in this set, with just, 2 villains, one of which, is the main villain, but the other one's just kind of like a side character in the movie. It would have been nice to get maybe a little bit of a more substantial build, maybe for Poison Ivy, just another vine trap or something, where she could, trap Commissioner Gordon or Dick Grayson. But I think that they should have done either something like that, include something more for the bad guys, include maybe another figure, or reduce the price by maybe $10 to $70. I think that would have made this a better value, but I don't think it's bad at what it is, especially if you can find it on discount. I think it's a good set, just not, the best one out there. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys all later. Bye, everyone.